Emily, we're going to discuss about the citizenship by birth. And as we know that a lot of people who come into United States, for example, people coming on student visa, people coming on H-1B, H-4, L-1, L-2, when their children are born in United States, they were being automatically given U.S. citizenship. No questions were asked. In fact, all those people who are illegally present in the United States were also given U.S. citizenship until now. Now, the Trump administration, the Trump in his election rally said that he's going to bar all the people who are born to illegal people in the United States. That means those people who are not maintaining their legal status. Is that right, or is it for? Did Trump said that it's going to be applicable for everybody, Emily?
Yeah, he definitely goes beyond just illegal immigrants, children of illegal immigrants. So from his, and this is coming directly from Trump's policy, on day one, he's planning on issuing an executive order, and it claims to end citizenship for children of illegal immigrants and outlawing birth tourism. But when you look into the fine print of what he's actually planning on doing, it specifically says this executive order will direct federal agencies to require that at least one parent be a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident for their future children to become automatic U.S. citizens. So with that interpretation, it would not be enough for the child of an H-1B holder and an H-4 holder to become a citizen if they're born here. They would have to be on H-4 and not be considered a citizen, be subject to aging out when they turn 21. Even though in the, all the rallies and the big print of this policy, Trump is saying it's to stop the magnet of U.S. citizenship for illegal aliens. They're planning to extend it beyond just illegal aliens and include those that are here lawfully on visas from being able to have their children become U.S. citizens upon birth.
Emily, we're going to discuss about the constitutionality of this later on, though. But coming to the point, what you said very clearly is that when you look into the Donald Trump website, though, he clearly mentions that one of the parent must be green card holder for the child to be U.S. citizen, according to the Donald Trump. Even though his statement says it's only illegal, but also for H-1B, H-4s, L-1, L-2s, if their children are born, they probably will not get the citizenship based on Donald Trump. We are going to discuss about the legality of those things later on, but that's what Donald Trump is expected to do on January 20th. Now, where is this thing coming where they are going to retroactively go back and terminate the people who are already citizens? They will strip them off from the citizenship. Where is that coming up? Because in all the Trump statements, though, he just said going forward, he never stated retroactively, not to my knowledge, and none of the websites of him stated retroactively. That means, let's say, for example, a child is born 5 years ago to H-1B and H-4 person. They already got their citizenship. They're not going to retroactively go, but there is a rumor that they can go retroactively, either for the people who are born for did not maintain the status or maintain the status, they can go retroactively. Where is that rumor coming up, Emily?
Yeah, it's definitely not in the Trump platform. I think in his platform, it specifically states that this would be going forward. But in his prior administration, he did create this denaturalization commission that was tasked with going out and finding citizens who'd been naturalized in the U.S. and stripping them of their citizenship in certain situations. And they definitely did do that. It was quite a small number, but definitely enough to create the fear that if he can do it to one person, he can do it to anyone who's naturalized.
Emily, what you're speaking about the denaturalization is for those people who lied in their application. For example, if the guy is a terrorist and he got the citizenship and then they denaturalized, that process existed even before Trump administration was there. And Trump definitely did a little bit expansion in his administration, but that is not applicable for our people, is right? These people didn't,
Right.
for the naturalization. So coming to the people who are born in United States, they didn't denaturalize just because they're born. They probably denaturalized the people who did told some lies to get the citizenship application or concealed their identity before they get the citizenship. Is that right, Emily?
Correct. Yeah. And I don't think, from what I can see, I don't think there are plans to make it retroactive. And I don't think they even could, just based on fundamental constitutional law. Any law that's passed in the United States can really never be effective retroactively. It's always going to be going forward. So if he were to attempt to make this change retroactive and to say that kids who are already born in the US, but their parents are H1 or H4, L1 or L2, are no longer going to be considered citizens, even though the law just changed on January 20th, 2025. I don't think that's the plan, but even if they tried to do that, I think there would be a major uproar, lawsuits, and likely it would not stand up in court.
One comments that there are two particular instances where I think so where the rumor is coming up is that Stephen Miller, the person who is the advisor for the Trump administration, especially on the immigration, though, he wants to denaturalize the people who are being born in United States, whose parents are neither U.S. citizens or green card holder. He wants to denaturalize. However, Trump by himself has never endorsed that idea of retroactively applying this application at all. It's just Stephen Miller is one of the things. The other thing I noticed is the Fifth Circuit judge, though, he believes that he believes it's probably is illegal to denaturalize. It's an opinion. I don't want to name the judge at this point of time. And they are thinking of appointing that the Fifth Circuit judge to the Supreme Court so that they can get their things done. Is the rumors that, these are the two reasons why the rumors are spreading around for the denaturalization. But we personally don't believe that is going to happen. Even if that's going to happen, it is not going to be legal. So for those people who are already U.S. citizens or born in United States, you should not be in a fear. You should not be in the fear that you will be denaturalized or your child will be denaturalized. You should not be under the fear. Emily, what's going to happen with denaturalization when he's going to issue an executive order, which we know he's going to issue an executive order? We'll discuss about the legalities of it, but first going for, is it going to be, they'll put a set date that, okay, well, it's going to be after 6 months, or is it going to be on the same day or next day that from now onwards, anybody who's born here, whose parents are neither U.S. citizens or green card holders will not be given citizenship? Will that be implemented immediately?
Yeah, I don't think there's any announcement about that yet, but I would expect it to be effective immediately. That is what we've seen for most of the immigration-related executive orders, both from the Obama administration with DACA, with the Biden administration and in his keeping families together, and in the Trump administration with his travel bans and visa bans. All of them were basically taking place and effective immediately the same day the announcement was made. So I would expect that. I don't think they'll make it effective in the future. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they may give some time, is what I'm thinking about. What if the people are pregnant right now and then they don't deliver? It's very sad to think that they will not be U.S. citizens. That's one thing that I'm thinking. They may give some time, but you may be, I'm afraid that you may be right, which I don't like it, but you may be right on what you said. Then we have to invent, Emily, that we have never done an H4 visa in my 30 years of practice. I've never done H4 L2. I don't know any dependent F2s or anybody who's born in United States. So damn, you just go get the passport. That's what. And if some people insisted upon, oh no, I'm going to get the Indian citizenship because Indians can get the Indian citizenship even if they are born here, they can get Indian citizenship. And then I said I refuse to take their case. I said, I said, I'm not, I'm not going to help you get the H4 at that point of time. So I don't know what is the process involved in getting the H4 for these people. It's going to be very tough for us. The USCIS might come on their policy, how they're going to implement that. Let's say the child is born, the child is an Indian citizen or whichever citizen the child might be. Then is he staying illegally from the time he's born?
Right. Is he going to have to exit and apply for a visa at the consulate to come back? Or is there going to way to change their status from date of birth to the
Well,
time they actually get their
there
passport
is
and
no
can
status
file?
for them to change.
Right, exactly. I have no idea what they would do with that.
So, well, we'll keep tuned. We will keep on informing on those things. Emily, what about the constitutionality of it, though? Particularly for those people, what they said is that what they're using is that enemy combatants. That means that these people are trying to occupy the country, and then their children are born, so they're exempt from the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, so the 14th Amendment is, part of the Constitution. It is what created birthright citizenship. And what they're trying to do, because they can't change the 14th Amendment without going through a new constitutional amendment, which I don't think they would ever have enough support to pass. So they're basically just trying to reinterpret the language of the 14th Amendment because it specifically says they have to be born here and be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. And so they're saying that if you are an undocumented immigrant, you're not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States because you did not come lawfully to the country. You're not here legally.
But what about those people who are on H-1Bs? They are subject to the jurisdiction.
Exactly. I would definitely make the argument that they are subject to the jurisdiction of this country because they had to follow so many rules to get here. They had to have a petition filed. They had to have an LCA filed. They had to go for a visa interview. They had to be fingerprinted. They had to be fingerprinted again at the port of entry. Then they had to keep filing these extensions and get more biometrics. If that's not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, I don't know what is. So I think there would definitely be arguments to make to stop this. It might come down to a court decision, which depends on which court. Of course, they're going to go file, have these cases filed in a friendly court and probably go up to the Supreme Court. And it could be years before it ultimately decided.
And what do you think people should look forward for right now? I mean, they should try to go and deliver the babies in India or here?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know if I would make any changes to my family planning right now based on where things stand. It might be too early to tell. But if this executive order is actually issued on day one and we have the actual language of it, and it does specify that the parent has to be a citizen or a lawful permanent resident, and it doesn't provide for legal visa holders, then yeah, it might be a good idea to exit the country for the birth of the child and then get the passport and then go for the H-4 visa stamp and then come back into the US. But I think this would have a long road ahead of us before any final decision is made.
I completely disagree with you, Emily. One thing is that, and this is getting done in executive order. What does that mean is that if we have a next president who can then turn around and say, hey, I issue an executive order to issue the passports to all these people. He can do that. So if the child is born outside the country, he loses the opportunity. That's number one reason. Number two, the child does not accrue the unlawful presence in United States, and they should, the USCIS, if they're under 18, they don't accrue the unlawful presence. So there's no need for us to hurry up and take this kid and get the H4 approved, though. The other thing is that USCIS will come up with some time period for these kids to file for the H4. I'm assuming that they will. And not to forget that cross-country chargeability, Emily, if a person is born in India, as compared to if the person is born in a different country, they are being treated as belonging to that particular country quota, though. We don't have the US quota yet. So it may be advantage for them to have being born in United States, irrespective of. So I still recommend people to get it done here, delivery, get it done here rather than going outside the country. People are really fearful right now as the things are going on, but there is a truth to it. The smoke is there, but there is a fire. This time, really, there is a fire there. We can see that the Trump administration comes with a clear mandate, which is anti-immigration. He won the most popular vote. He won the House. He won the Senate. He won the presidentship without any doubt. Unlike previously, though, even at the time when he won against Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton got more popular votes than Trump administration, Trump vote. So this time, Trump got the popular vote too. So, and the judgments we are making, and a lot of other people are also discussing, is based on the team he's selecting. Is what is scaring us much more, because these people, the team that he's selecting, are much more right-wing people than Trump himself. Is what is worrying us. We want you to keep tuned, keep informed, take the wise decisions, and we've been doing this for almost a decade now in the YouTube. So please keep tuning us, and we'll keep on informing what's going on. Emily, anything else I missed out in there?
No, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you.